for the Lynbrook Board of Education. If we could all please rise for the pledge to the flag. Mr. Pelesci will lead us. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All are present. Mr. Murray is not in attendance tonight. If there are no changes, may I have a motion to accept the minutes of the March 12th regular meeting? Ms. Aragona? Second, Mr. Luna. All in favor? Mr. Kunz, Art Gallery, please.
This month, the Burns-Siderman Gallery is pleased to present our annual Senior Portfolio Preparation Show featuring work from our Senior Portfolio Preparation class under the direction of LHS art teacher Mr. Tom Senna. In the Portfolio Preparation class, students who are planning on majoring in the visual arts on the collegiate level work alongside students who may be minoring in the visual arts or in their final swan song of their artistic experience here at LHS. Students create work independently under the mentorship of Mr. Senna, who guides each student individually on creating a lasting body of artwork that for the art majors culminates in a portfolio submission as part of their college application process. It also gives students the opportunity to receive talent scholarship offers from some of the best programs in the nation. This year's group has received a total of just over $1.2 million in talent scholarship offers, which when added to the department's 25-year running total, now stands at just over $17.3 million. Feel free to take a look at this year's highlights in the gallery, and as always, thank you to the Lynbrook community for its continued support of the art programs here in the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kunz. Loving that early summer suntan you got going there, too. Dr. Lynch, presentations?
Thank you, Mr. Belmont. Well, we have lots of important students to honor tonight, lots of good stuff going on. So our first group is, surprise, surprise, Horizon is winning more awards. So this year, we just got the New York Press Association Awards from last year's calendar year. And we're happy to say that the Horizon staff placed third in Best Overall Newspaper. Our best news story was third place, Cassandra Levinson, by learning with each other, the genesis of the Let's Talk. The best feature story was a graduate from last year, Kerry Cullen, who won the Sephora Kids Epidemic. And then best photography, Sean Strohoffer for senior Frank Sirofo earns spot on Newsday's Top 100. And I think tonight we have editors Gianna Longo, Katie Gottlieb, and Paula Rojas Young, and Sean Strohoffer are here to receive T-shirts. Okay. So last weekend, the Key Club had a big district conference up in Albany, and our Key Club walked away with a lot of awards. The Perfect Paperwork Award, the Early Bird Dues Recognition Award. We took second place in the Service Hours Per Member, 93.5. Second place in Public Relations. For the Camp Kiwanis District Project fundraising, first place on the Interclub Award and a Distinguished Club Award Diamond level. We also had a Distinguished Club Vice President, Skylar Wolkoff, and Distinguished Junior, Liam Gallagher. And I think Dr. T won something too, the Key of Honor. And I'm going to ask Dr. T to actually give us a little more information on this, but also, for the first time in history, in Lynbrook history, the Key Club had a member of the division at the division and district level, Jessica Strohoffer as the Division 7 Lieutenant Governor, and Katie Gottlieb as Executive Assistant for New York District. Dr. T, are you around to? Thank you.
I was pretty much going to say what he just said. Our Key Club as a whole is incredible. Every day they come in to do service. During breaks they do service. So a lot of these Key Club members are also part of other clubs, SGA, et cetera. So we're very proud of them, and thank you for acknowledging them today. So appreciate it. And our, Division 7 Lieutenant Governor, who is now retired, she just finished up, is Jess Strahoffer. You can stand up. She was a distinguished Lieutenant Governor, and she received an award for it. And our other one, thank you, she's Division and District. She was the Executive Assistant Officer to the Governor of New York Key Club, Katie Gottlieb. She won the Outstanding Executive Officer Award. And this year, we now have Skylar, you can stand up, Wolkoff, who is the new Division 7 Lieutenant Governor, which means she's ahead of 11 different clubs. 11 different key clubs in the area, including Oceanside and other schools like that. So we're pretty proud of them. Wow. Nice job. And our 3 presidents did an outstanding job this year. We just want to thank them. Katie, Kate, and Eric Diaz. Nice job. You guys can come up for a photo.
So here's what so I have T-shirts for Liam and Skylar. So if you'd come up first, and then we'll do a series of other phone. So Skylar and Liam. So last month, Lynbrook High School hosted more than 1,000 students from across Long Island and New York City for the Lynbrook second annual Virtual Enterprise Trade Show, where young entrepreneurs pitch their business ideas to their peers. Roughly 60 virtual enterprise firms were represented by 38 different schools. Thank you. You all saw that, right? Each team set up elaborate booths, complete with backdrops, interactive experiences, and prizes to help draw onlookers' attention to their unique business propositions. In their VE courses, students collaborated to build a simulated business from ground up, starting with an initial idea and growing it to establish company roles, product concepts, marketing campaigns, websites, and logos. I wish everyone here could have witnessed this event because we've all been at trade shows before in our lives. You know, I had one year as I worked for an outside software company, and I used to work those types of shows. This had the look and feel of exactly one of those shows. So it is simply incredible. So one of our big pushes with the profile of the owl is the whole idea behind real world skills. And I think this program, but both with the stuff you're doing at Key Club and the stuff that's going on in VE is exactly some of that. It is exactly what we're talking about. It's and I was at the business the induction of the Honor Society the other night, and I heard you all, I didn't hear Dr. T say it, I heard you all tell me what Dr. T taught you about contacts that you just haven't made yet, and look people in the eye, shake their hands, and I think everyone up here will tell you, those are the skills that actually matter. And so those are really practical stuff. So that being said, we had 2 teams, and so our team, so Team Snooze won the gold medal in social media, sales material, and professionalism. And Team Revive won gold in sales materials and impact marketing. Then they went to the championship round at the Javits Center on April 7th and 8th, and Revive placed in the top 22 in the United States in the National Business Plan Competition, and Snooze placed in the top 50 in the National Finance Competition. So again, really great stuff. So Dr. T, do you want to add anything more to that one? I know you do.
I'll add to that, Dr. T. You can't stress enough, if I could talk to students directly, how important that skill set is. If you read the articles, if you read newspaper stories, employers are having a very difficult time with young men and women coming out of college who cannot communicate. They cannot speak. And me and Mrs. Sorosi were standing in that virtual enterprise, and 2 young men in suits came up to us and just pitched us like they thought we were running a hedge fund. I mean, it was just very impressive. So the more you work on that skills and as often as you can, it's just so important and such an impressive thing to have. I mean, all the things you're doing them, Dr. T, all the life skills that they're learning, whether it's the business and the communication, the handshakes, how you dress, they're more important now than they've ever been. So it was a very impressive event.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to echo what Billy just said. I mean, I had a kid who went through the VE class a year ago, and I saw firsthand what the skills that Dr. T is teaching. And to all of you who have taken the class, you're going to find when you get to college and beyond, the VE class is probably the most impactful class you're going to take, whether you go into science, humanities, law, teaching, anything. The skills of knowing how to speak, look someone in the eye, shake their hand, write down their contact, right? What Dr. T always says, always network, 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 right? That's the most important skill in the world. And, you know, to have a class like that at Lynbrook and to do so well in that regard that we get awards every year, you guys are really lucky to be a part of it because it is an incredible class. And Dr. T obviously does an incredible job with it.
Okay, so well, you know what? We do want to recognize, and I will deliver the T-shirts to the class. So we have a career development program at Lynbrook High School, and so this is a brand new logoed T-shirt, and so we got a delivery of like a couple of thousand of these. And we needed a lot of help, and we needed some practical skill work. So our kids from the career development program came in, sorted the sizes for us, folded them, wrapped them, and so we're proud to say that everything you're receiving now is a product of our own career development program. So Michael and Johanna not here tonight. Okay, you know what? I'll go to I will be sure to go to the classroom tomorrow and deliver the T-shirts. But I think we got to do a big round of applause because that's a real skill stuff. All right. And I don't know if you guys heard, but we had an undefeated conference champion in our girls basketball team. It was an incredibly proud season. Both the Coach Spinella and to Coach Dankenbrink and the Lady Owls. It was so exciting to watch and heartbreak. But you guys did. I'm not much of a sports guy, I have to admit, but it was fun watching. You know what I mean? Like it really was a pleasure. There's just like a grace and a beauty to what you guys did, and beyond that, how you brought us together and how we were all rooting for you and how you were, we could not be more proud of our girls basketball program. So we're going to have a little picture on that one too. All right, and then we're also proud to announce that we had a state qualifier in wrestling. So Zach Tinez placed third in the Nassau County Championships. That earned him the right to wrestle in the New York State Championship, where he went 2 for 2. An interesting point, in his third match, he won a sudden victory, beating the only other wrestler in Nassau County Championships that had beaten him. So that's kind of a cool irony to that. So we're going to bring Zach up for a picture and a T-shirt. Then at the Nassau County Championship, we had Dan Quinlan swim fast enough to qualify for and compete in the New York State Swimming and Diving Championship. He qualified in the 200-yard freestyle. He has previously qualified for the States and is part of our South Brook swim team. So another reason to celebrate. Dan, you want to come up? Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next topic. So that's our student honorees, and we're also proud to announce that we have a very special teacher in the house. So West End teacher Chelsea Gundrum. So she was selected as the selected as the 2025 Elementary Level Mathematics Teacher of the Year by the Nassau County Mathematics Teachers Association. They recognize elementary, a middle, and a high school mathematics teacher, and she will now attend the association's annual reception in April 30th. And again, just having that talent in our district, we're so proud of Chelsea and the work that she does. So she gets to come up for a
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. So we have 2 special announcements tonight. We have 2 tenures, always a special time in a teacher's career. So if you could stand up, please. Social worker at West End, Megan Schwartz. And please stand up. Teacher assistant at Waverly Park, Falia Bulesi. Congratulations. Moving on to reports from trustee for policy committee, Mrs. Aragona.
So we have 2 first readings tonight. The first reading is about board meeting procedures, It really talks about adding a report on the agenda from the student board member. The second first reading is programs for students with disabilities under the IDEA. It really talks about eligibility changed to until a child earns a high school diploma or the day before their 22nd birthday. And we also have a second reading and adoption, and that just talks about the student board member.
Thank you. Mr. Lunar, PTA liaison.
Okay, good evening. We just have one announcement for the PTA. We hope that everyone can join us for the staff volleyball game this Friday, April 25th at 7 p.m., which will be held at the high school gym. Tickets will be sold at the door. They're $5 each, so everyone come out and enjoy. Also, snacks will be sold at the event. For the first time, Universal Pre-K will be also competing, so all schools in the Lynbrook district will be there. Thank you.
Any events by any of the board members? Actually, before we move on to old business, anyone who's here for our 2 tenure celebrations, you may sneak out and celebrate. So moving on to old business, as we've previously discussed, having a student board member now. Interested students had submitted their applications to a panel of students, teachers, and administrators. The panel is in the process of interviewing 5 candidates, and they will present 2 or 3 to the board to interview. The successful candidates will be introduced at our June meeting, and their term will begin in July. NASA BOCES will be conducting training over the summer and during the school year for those new student board members. Moving on to new business, and we have the BOCES budget and election. All districts hold meetings tonight to vote on the NASA BOCES operations budget, BOCES candidates. So we'll start with a resolution before we get to the candidates. Resolution 2504G1. Whereas the Board of Cooperative Education Services of Nassau County, hereinafter NASA BOCES, has proposed and presented its proposed administrative operation budget for the 2025 to 2026 school year, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the Nassau BOCES proposed administrative operations budget for the 25-26 school year in the amount of $27,877,216 be and hereby is approved by the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District. May I have a motion to accept the resolution 2504G1 NASA BOCES budget? Mrs. Kelly, second. Mr. Lunar, all in favor? Thank you. Now moving on to the candidates for the NASA BOCES board. Mr. Lunar, you had last time proposed to us 2 candidates. I believe it was a Fran Langsner from Levittown and a Robert Schoen from Baldwin. We need to come up with one more candidate. Of the 3 other candidates, do you have a recommendation for us?
I do. There are 3 other candidates who have since thrown their hat in the ring. Ronald Ellerby, Michael Jamie, and Douglas Pascarella. Of the 3, I recommend for the 3rd spot, Douglas Pascarella.
Perfect. Quick consensus of the board. I'm good with going with Mr. Lunar's deep research on the subject. Thank you, Mr. Lunar. So we'll have to do 3 motions for each one. May I have a motion to vote for Fran Langsner? Ms. Argona, second. Mrs. Danino, all in favor? May I have a motion to vote for Robert Schoen? Mrs. Kelly, second. Mr. Pileski, all in favor? And for our 3rd, may I have a motion to vote for Douglas Pascarella? I may have a motion. Mr. Pileski, sounds like your cousin. Second, Mr. Lunar, all in favor? All right. We are in agreement, all 3, so we will now have to then do another. Well, if I just did those, I don't have to do it full one, because I just did all 3. So now I'm going to I don't have to do another motion now. We just did them all 3 as nomination. Right, yeah. So I don't even need a motion to adopt it, or I do? Let's do a motion to adopt it.
Well, do it just to be on.
Right. Have a motion to adopt this resolution. Mr. Luna, second. Mrs. Danino, all in favor. Superintendent's report, Dr. Lynch.
Thank you, Mr. Belmont. So as you know, we've been pursuing 3 board goals this year. The first has been the implementation of the profile of the OWL. So a really important step in this process will begin on Tuesday, Dr. Belekas, or Monday? The PD committee is next Tuesday. So what we are doing is we're going to now put structures in place so that the profile of the owl becomes part and parcel of what we do here. The way that happens is through professional development. And rather than a top-down approach where we're dictating what the professional development is, we are going to put together a pretty wide committee of teachers, and they will be helping us to plan what PD will look like for next year. So we start that, and they actually had homework to do. They had to learn something about adult learning, because adult learning is very different than child learning. And so we needed to get those principles in place, and we hope to have some really good sessions and then really get off to a good start next year based on that feedback. So that was from our first goal. Our second goal, as you know, was to implement a multi-tier system of supports, and we've been working with the PTA School and Community Committee on that. And a really interesting idea came from the PTA, and it was about putting SEL components into our athletics and after-school programs. So I'm happy to say that, I see Mr. Donaldson in the back. We were able to apprise everyone. I don't know if people realize how much the varsity club at this school does. So we have a club that basically does community service, implementing fairness practices, mentoring younger players. There's all sorts of stuff that's already in the SEL world that's going on, so kudos to the club and all you do. But next year, we're going to start an alliance with an organization called the Positive Coaching Alliance, and that will be bringing in a mentorship into our sports program. As I said, sports is about winning, but it's also about how to lose, and it's also about sportspersonship. So all of those are kind of the character building that is so important in athletics, and I thank Mr. Martellotti for doing all that research and bringing that to the table. I think the board was in favor of moving forward with something like that, so I think that is right in line with what that second goal is. So I thank you, gentlemen, for the work you did, and I thank PTA, School and Community for the great input. And then our third goal was communications. So the big discussion this year is, what should our website look like? So we are about to tear the old one down and put up a new one. We have a tentative launch date for the new site on or about July 1st. We're going to be integrating tighter with Parent Square. So what we'll be able to do is, it's going to have a much fresher look to it. We're going to try to make it much more user-friendly so that you can find the information that you need to find. And then, since it's going to integrate more with Parent Square, as principals are putting out messages in Parent Square, they will also appear on the website itself. So all good stuff. So Mr. McDermott and I are working on that. Right now we're in the design phase. We hope to have a dummy to show fairly soon. So those are the updates on the 3 board goals. I'm going to kick it over to Dr. Berman to talk about the UPK process.
So the Lynbrook School District will continue to offer the UPK program for the upcoming school year. We anticipate receiving funding to offer approximately 156 eligible students access to the full-day UPK program, based on information that's contained in the proposed executive budget. There are currently 110 children who have applied for the UPK program. This program is open to children residing in the district who are 4 years old on or before December 1st of this year. The state-funded program allows a 180-day school calendar, runs 5 days a week, Mondays through Friday, from 9 to 2, and it begins on September 4th of this school year. The 2 sites will be the JCC and Tiny Tykes. The district will conduct a virtual lottery tomorrow, Thursday, April 24th at 10 a.m. The drawing link is on the district's website. This lottery will help rank students for access to the Tiny Tykes program based on their first choice site preference. All others will attend the JCC program. Once the lottery drawing occurs, both a recording of the drawing and the results of the lottery will be included on the district's website. All families will be notified via email of the next steps in the registration process by the afternoon. Families will formally register their children via the online enrollment portal. Simply follow the directions and instructions that are in the email. Although the deadline to apply for the lottery has passed, applications will still be accepted for the UPK program until the allotment number is met with, or no later than the first week of October. From this point forward, all applications received will only be considered for a seat at the JCC program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Berman. Then we're proud to announce, for, I don't know what year running this is, I think it's about the 10th year running or so, the International School Business Association has awarded Lynbrook with its Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting. So there are 2 awards, one that is given by this organization called ASBO, and another one which is done by the Government Officers Association. So this is the ASBO one. So congratulations to Mr. Press. And I know, thank you, Mr. Greenfield. And not only that, and I know Mr. Press will not mind me saying this, he does a good job, but his staff does a much better job. And I think, we know that a lot of that is the hard work of the folks in your office. So we thank them for all of that. So, I'm on to a budget update. So as you know, this has been one of the toughest years we've had to face. We kind of had multiple priorities when we went through this. One of our most important was not to overburden the taxpayer, and we wanted to make sure that we were staying within our tax cap. We also, at the same time, did not want to lay off staff. Those were the 2 goals that we set, and I'm happy to report, with the cooperation of the Lynbrook Teachers Association, that we were able to accomplish those goals. So now I can report in more specificity as what it's going to actually look like. So we now foresee the reduction of staff members of approximately 15 staff members through the process of attrition. That is not layoffs. What that means is that due to retirements and other resignations, by not replacing those people, we'll actually be able to be running with a smaller staff, basically because enrollment is dropping. So if you were here for the budget work session, you heard me say that in 2014, this district had 2,800 students. We are now projected by 2032 to only have 2,500 students. So that is on the decline. During COVID, we actually hired staff, which makes sense, and therefore we kind of had more staff than that ratio was. So now what we're doing is we're bringing that together. So practically, what does that mean? Based on the enrollment, we're currently looking at the kindergarten center next year only having 8 sections instead of the 10 that we've had for the last couple of years. That will still keep class size by less than 24, which is what we always want to do. We are monitoring that very carefully, and if that number should start to go up, we might add a 9th section as time goes on. The other school that is affected is West End, which currently has, we foresee losing 3 sections next year, but also class size will be remaining under 24 and actually closer to 21 and 23. So we've been running class sizes there. Board policy says that class size should be between 18 and 26. We've been running sections there at about 16. So we need to kind of right size that, and we're taking advantages of the retirements to do that. And then at the secondary level, I'm going to ask Dr. Belekas there's some programmatic shuffling that goes on that I think he can speak better to.
Sure. So at the secondary level, we are changing the way that we're delivering the ELA lab that we used to have. Basically, everyone in 9th grade would be signed up for a writing lab. We do think it's important that all students have writing skills before they get to 9th grade, so we are going to be moving those skills down to 8th grade. What that would mean, instead of having English class for 1 period, they would have an English class for a period and a half each day. To accommodate that, math would be reduced from a period and a half to 1 period. So that does cause a shift in the staffing so that there is more English staff needed at the middle school level. We are also streamlining our AIS classes. So our AIS classes are our support classes. We've had in the past learning labs for special education students only. We're opening up these new AIS labs, we're calling them humanities and STEM, to both special education and general education students. which would be more inclusive, which is something that we are trying to work on, and only offering those supports to students that need them, so that because you're classified and you're in an ICT class, you don't necessarily need to be in the support class unless you need that extra level of support and help. So that it basically what it does is it allows students to have more elective opportunities, which I think is a great thing. So both of those moves, by moving the writing down into the middle school and by streamlining some of the laboratories, kids have more opportunities to take the vast array of electives. And we heard a lot today about students and the benefits of our electives at the high school. So I think that's great that we're giving better access. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then other things that will happen is we have been running a very expensive drop-off program in the morning that we're probably the only district that has had this free component for all these years. So we will be outsourcing that next year to an actual early morning program at the elementary schools. So there will be a cost associated with that. We'll have more information when that comes about. We're working on the contracts right now. But what that means is that students certainly are allowed in the buildings to go to extra help and orchestra and band and all the curricular things or early morning clubs. But the idea of drop-off could not happen in the elementary schools before 8:20. So that is something we need to get people to know. We'll certainly have some more information coming out once we iron out the details with Right at School, but we want that information out as soon as possible so people can make their appropriate preparations. Then there'll be another ripple effect of that at the middle school. Unfortunately, Right at School or any program is not allowed to do a middle school drop-off program. They're not licensed to do so. So we, to talk a little bit about the history of how our middle school drop-off program came, we never had, so those of you who've been around a while, we never had a middle school drop-off program until 2017 or 2018. What we did was inaugurate a breakfast program at that point, and then kind of the drop-off program came as an ancillary point to that. We simply are not serving the breakfast, so the purpose that program had has not really happened. So what that program has been costing us in the neighborhood of $60,000 a year. We originally used to bill that to Title I. The government did not permit us to do that anymore, so now that has had to been covered by the budget itself. So that means, and the compact committees and the PTAs this is kind of like the formal announcement so that we can start to do the work at the middle schools. Mrs. Gannon and Mrs. Healy will be having joint PTA meetings and joint compact meetings to talk about the implications of this. But as of now, that would mean that, again, you can go into the building for extra help, you can go in for orchestra or for anything that's a supervised activity, but otherwise drop-off you could not go into the building before 7:55. So we're certainly open to hearing ideas, but it just cannot cost us $60,000 a year. So I think that's the main point. So the reason why we're announcing this tonight is we think you need to know this. You need to know this soon so that you can make appropriate clarifications for that. So any questions from the board on any of those budget items?
There'll be a presentation next month, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes. Okay, and I'm going to put back to Dr. Balekis to do a curriculum update.
Get it, this on. So our first update today, unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, our schools were among several across the state who experienced issues with the New York State ELA exams. The test delivery system unfortunately failed, which prevented our students from logging in. The State Department issued an apology, and they also deemed the situation unacceptable. They were in contact with their vendor to demand answers and to ensure that the students won't be further impacted during this testing window. Under state guidance and assurance, we have been under the impression, at least, that the testing issues have resolved. Thankfully, we started our state assessments over today, and in the elementary schools, they did work with minimal issue. Those elementary assessments will continue throughout the week, and they'll be over by the end of this week. North and South Middle School will be taking their assessments on Wednesday, May 7th and Thursday, May 8th. All of the New York State math assessments will be administered as originally scheduled on our calendar on Thursday, May 1st and May 2nd. So what that means is the elementary students were taking the ELA now, they'll take math next week. Middle school will take math first, they'll take that next week, and then the ELA will happen after that. Any questions about the state assessments? I'll continue to move on. Okay, so my second update tonight, the Lynbrook's annual STEAM night will be taking place on Monday, May 12th at 7 p.m. in Lynbrook High School's gymnasium. While this event was traditionally tailored toward women in STEAM, we are proud to now welcome all students in grades 4 to 8 to experience the exciting world of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Throughout the evening, students will learn about the importance of STEAM education, explore STEAM programs and opportunities available at Lynbrook High School, and meet with current high school students, visit our facilities, and discover the array of clubs and extracurricular activities that we offer. Thank you.
And Mr. Press, capital projects.
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. So lots of work ahead for us on the capital front this summer. The door projects at West End and Marion Street are on track to happen this summer. We've started some of the preliminary work with the wiring for the electronic, the wireless door locks. The other part of this, these are projects that were previously approved almost a year ago, or more than a year ago. The elevator here at the high school, the cab replacement is getting set to kick off soon, so that will also happen this summer. We received approval from SED earlier this month on our restroom projects, both here and over at the Atlantic Avenue building. So we're out to bid on that. The bid opening is the first week of May. So we're looking forward to that, with the plan to have that work also happen this summer. So just keep an eye out for that. There's also some additional work on repointing, not as exciting as the door project maybe, but repointing at Marion Street that was also approved, that is also is out for bid. So we're looking to get that work at least started this summer. That's all I've got.
Back to you, Mr. Belmont.
Thank you, Dr. Lynch. This time, we'll open up the microphone for public comment. Anyone who would like to address the board, please come up to the microphone, identify yourself, and indicate whether you live in or out of resident, in the district.
Good evening, Mr. President. I'm not Jeff Greenfield. I'm not here as citizen taxpayer tonight. You'll be happy to know. I'm here as the chairman of the Lynbrook Mayor's Golf Outing. I'm here to announce that your own Dr. Lynch has been chosen by the committee to be one of 3 honorees at the golf outing at August 11th.
Great selection.
At the Inwood Country Club. We think so. So we look forward to the board and the school community's participation with respect to this event. Dr. Lynch came last year and saw how great it was. Miss Kelly comes every year, and Dr. T in back there has been a good supporter in the past also. So we look forward to others, and even your attorney, Mr. Feldman, if you can join. Are you a golfer? We have a few attorneys that play that day. It's not a problem. So we're very excited. 3 members of the community are being honored: Dr. Lynch, and the McGraw-Reese, and Cindy Shiner, who's a longtime supporter of the event and has been a regular attendee and a very generous member of the community to the fund. So the Lynbrook Mayor's Golf Outing supports the Lynbrook Community Chest, and then every year at the village board meeting, we give out money to the community chest, the proceeds of it, as well as to the 2 veterans organizations in the community. And we look forward to everybody's support, and we're in the process. It's at Inwood Country Club. We expect it to be such a success. I'm trying to finalize. I was just looking at my email. We have a second course, and I have to meet with the mayor in the next few days So I'm not at liberty to announce yet, but we expect an overflow crowd. Last year, we did a double shotgun at the Inwood Club, and that backed up the course. So instead, a neighboring course, we're negotiating with respect to a second location. In fact, the neighboring course, without disclosing the name because it's not finalized, is in your school district. And I've implored them to help be friendly with respect to the pricing. Okay. Any questions from anybody?
No, I appreciate it. Just a well-deserved recognition for Dr. Lynch, so thank you for that.
Yeah, we think so too. As long as I have the mic. On the other subject, I don't envy you or any school district with respect to budget this year. And as I look at it, and I've been a regular lobbyist and attendee in Albany, the problem is, in a nutshell, when we started under the first Cuomo, that part of the budget would be policy decisions. That's the issue that we get bogged down on with respect to passing a budget, and it's not fair to the taxpayers of the school district because they can't get policy passed during the regular legislative session, so they cram it into the budget. Late today, they announced some policy decisions with regard to the future of NUMC, and that's probably going to be part of the budget also. So I agree with you. I hope before you finalize your budget, you can have some numbers because it's not fair otherwise.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
We have one sympathy resolution this evening for William, we know him as Bill Groom. Whereas the members of the Board of Education of the Lynbrook Union Free School District have learned with sorrow of the passing of William Groom, former employee of the Lynbrook School District. And whereas William Groom served as a health teacher at Lynbrook South Middle School, and Lynbrook High School for 32 years, from 1962 through 1995. And whereas the Board of Education is mindful of the contributions made to our district by Mr. Groom during his years of service to our community. Be it resolved that the Board of Education records its sorrow, its sympathy, and the esteem in which William Groom was held. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the family of William Groom with the hope that they will find solace and comfort in the rich heritage of good works for which he is remembered and revered. Also have some donations this evening, $3,500 from the South Shore Community Chest for use by families at the high school seniors to assist with their senior class expenses such as yearbooks and prom. Various baseball equipment from the Lynbrook Diamond Club valued at approximately $5,500, and approximately $2,500 from the Friends of Lynbrook Music to be used to defray the cost of the 8th grade music department trip for both North and South Middle Schools. Moving on to consent agenda, I'd like to ask for a consent agenda on resolutions 2504C1 through 2504C11, 2504NC1 through 2504NC7, and 2504G3 and 2504G1. May I have a motion, please? Ms. Pleshy, second. Mr. Luna, all in favor? May I have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Mrs. Danino, second. Mr. Luna, all in favor? Appreciate it. Our next meeting is the budget and our regular meeting, both taking place on May 7th. And that's all, folks. Get home safe.